Rice is the staple food of most families in the subcontinent, especially in South India. Everybody eats rice. Rice is also used extensively in all of South Asia. Rice was the most important thing that you would own, much more than gold. Rice was now the wherewithal, what you had to have now, while gold was always security that would come useful in a rainy day. Rice was Lakshmi. Who is Lakshmi? Lakshmi is not just the goddess of wealth. She is the goddess of well-being, of prosperity. And that is why rice was always considered. Rice was used to barter, to buy, to live, everything. Rice was cooked in most families in a traditional patram called the Vengala Pane. Vengalam is the bronze made out of many metals, or the brass one with a little bit of lead coated inside. Next to the milk being boiled, the Vengala Pane was put onto the fire and the water was added, and when the water came to boil, the washed rice was added into the water and it would boil. Then the water, once the rice was cooked, the water was drained, and this rice water was used to given to children mixed with yogurt into buttermilk because it was starch. Even the water that was used to wash the rice was given to the cows. Nothing was wasted. The husk was also fed to the cows. Every part of the rice plant, the paddy, the leaves of the paddy, this was hay, was dried as hay and fed to the animals. So this is one of the plants, evergreen plants, that is very important for the Indian household. Food is not mere sustenance, something that you need to eat to live. Food was a means of reaching out to people. When food was cooked, when rice was cooked in the house, the first cup of rice with a little dollop of ghee and a little dal was offered to the gods as Nevedyam or Mahanevedyam. In fact, it goes beyond an ordinary Nevedyam or an offering to the god. It is Mahanevedyam, that is the best thing that you can, the biggest thing that you could offer to the gods. And why the Parupu and the Nei? Only for rites of passage or for Shraddams, the white rice was offered. And the same rice that was offered as Nevedyam in a little cup was fed to the crows. The feeding of the crows is an important ritual in a Hindu household, because the crows were thought to be ancestors who came every day to eat. I give my crows even papaya. They love the papaya. And before I eat the papaya every day, I give them a little papaya. So rice was washed and then put into the Vengalapane or the pot to cook. I'm a modern lady. I'm using a pressure cooker. And I'm going to cook this rice in my pressure cooker. A thumb rule for how much water to how much rice. Rice actually can be old rice or new rice. Old rice requires more water, while new rice is gooey and requires less water. So the old rice, the thumb rule is there must be so much water above the rice level. So if the rice is there in this saucepan, just put your finger in and there should be so much water. Mine is lacking a little. I'm going to add a little more water and then close it and cook it. And one trick I have found with these little pressure cookers, the water tends to fall out when it is cooking after the whistle. So I put a little teaspoon in to keep the water down. So that's just a trick I have evolved. So here it is. The rice is going to be cooked. Rice is also something very portable. people used to take the raw rice to on their picnics, for Padanatam Perku, or when they used to go to the riverside for a bath on a Purnima or Nila Sapadu. They used to take the rice and wash it in the river water and cook it, and they would take all the sauces. They would take the sauce like pulikachal or kotamali podi or karagapala podi, and they would make puli sadam, ilimichambal sadam, thair sadam, and all these ingredients were from their gardens. The lemon, the tamarind, the curry leaves, the dhania leaves, everything was from their garden. They didn't have to go and shop for things. And that used to be taken to the riverside. The rice was cooked in they would make a little fire with some sticks of wood and bricks and put this pane, and they would cook the rice, and the water was drained out, and the rice was mixed into all these lovely little kalanda shadams, which is an important part of the South Indian cuisine. Right, my pressure cooker is done. Well, my cooker is done. I've had 4 whistles and I've put it off. Now, as we wait for it to cool down, let me tell you how it was served. Remember, people used to sit on the floor to eat in front of banana leaves. Remind me to tell you a story about the banana leaf sometime. The food was served, and the lady of the house brought it in a plate that was called chippa tattu. Tattu is a plate, and chippa means maybe it had little chippings on it, I don't know, but it's called chippa tattu. And she brought 1 plate of rice for 1 person every time she went into the kitchen to bring for the next person. If there were 3 people, she went 3 times into the kitchen. And when she served the rice onto the banana leaf, she had to take tremendous care. The rice could not fall plop onto the leaf. It had to be slowly transferred to the leaf, and the plate was not allowed to touch the leaf, because that was yechal or juta. That is, it was saliva was already involved with the person eating it, so it was not supposed to touch the plate at all. All this was hygiene. We just think, oh my, they're just being finicky, but actually all this was hygiene, sanitization of the process of eating. Then the next thing she would put was a little dollop of dal on the rice. Why this little dollop of dal? Tuvaram parpu or tur dal or arhar dal was not an indigent product of South India. The dal had to come in from the north and other places. So it was also very expensive. And so the basic gravy dish of the day was a korambu made with tamarind and rasam, or a tovel. So this little dollop of parpu was an important part of the nutritional value of the food. It gave them their protein. And the little ghee, of course, also on top of the parpu. This rice was then, all this, the other accompaniments were served, the vegetables, the pachadi or whatever. The men take a little drop of water, a spoon of water into their palm of the hand, and then they go round the leaf 3 times. Now, what was this? This was called the pariseshanam. What was this for? This was basically to offer the food that you're eating to the divine. Another thing was this water. Remember, they're sitting on the floor. Remember, it's a banana leaf. The water was an automatic moat for for insects not to cross and come into the food as you're eating and go and thus spoil your food. So this pariseshanam, and then many people, I have seen I have an uncle who does this. He takes a little bit of all the food that is being cooked that day, and he makes it into a ball, and he closes his eyes and he prays, and he says, and then he leaves it next to his plate, and this food is taken and given to the animals. The banana leaf was also, after the food was eaten, the banana leaf was also given to the cow. Whatever food was remaining was given to the cow. And even today my daughter-in-law Vandana does it. When the food is remaining, she puts it into a bag, and the girl who comes to work takes it away and gives it to the cow. And you know, there are enough cows in India, even in the urban environment, for you to feed them. So food was a way of reaching out. Food was not just I cook, I eat, or only my family eats. In the village, when a stranger came to the village, he was invited to eat. Atiti Devo Bhava. He was treated as God and he was fed. Any itinerant person was given food. If that person was not given food, at least the woman of the house would give a handful of rice into his bowl. So this was alms, this was sustenance. Rice was alms, rice was sustenance. I think it's time to open the cooker and see how the rice looks. Ah, that whistle says it's done. Yes. Now, my husband is a diabetic, so that's why I cook with more water. And then I drain out this water so that the starch goes. So there is water here. Don't worry, just drain it out. And if you're drinking some buttermilk or something, include it into that. Parboiled rice is a very important side effect of rice. Parboiled rice is what 50% of the world eats. Very strange. You would have seen the red rice that people in Kerala eat, or the rice that is used for idli. That is parboiled rice. Parboiled rice is soaked, steamed and then pounded, and the husk is removed. It becomes much more this. It's a pound. This is a modern version of the old oral, and this is how they used to pound on a wooden. It used to be a wooden piece, and this thing was also wooden. So this is what they used to use to pound the rice, take out the husk. The parboiled rice is very, very healthy because it's already semi-cooked and it's easy to digest, and most of the world in fact eats rice, while the urban we eat a basmati rice or a poni rice or something like that.